Hello, everybody. Here we are, the trust frequency embodied and the dance of souls. And we're going to take you on a bit of a ride into our subconscious, and we're going to move from victim to beloved, the big flip. It's a huge flip, and it's high time we do that. Because as the earth is moving into a higher frequency, we've got to move with her so that we can enjoy the energies that are coming to pass on planet Earth. And to do that, we have to raise our frequencies. And to do that, we've got to go inside and face our shadow, transmute our shadow, bring it into the light, and walk into our light with our whole being, not just the parts we think people want to see, but all of us, the glorious divinity that we are. And I'm Connie Baxter Marlow.
I'm Andrew Cameron Bailey, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this Thanksgiving week in the year 2020.
Yeah, and we have Wowza Elisa Lodge, who is going to take us on a embodiment journey. And hi, Oriana.
Hi,
we have
Oriana.
Oriana here. Yay. What a treat. So Wowza is going to just say a little bit about the dance of souls as she's experienced it, because she's been with us on this journey for decades as a friend and as a collaborator on the Dance of Souls on our online course that we have on socialchrysalis.com. And Wowza leads an embodiment practice on that as well. So Wowza, what's it like being on a dance of souls with the universe, with our parents, children, workers, friends? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my goodness, everything is in relationship. I mean, this conscious loving universe means that it embraces all relationship. And I just feel that it's such an honor and beyond exciting, not only to contribute and share different pieces of my work, but I'm going through it. And as much as I've done therapy with a lot of these issues, I was amazed again that this is something that we need to at least dip into, we need to visit occasionally, and how great we can do it with dear, dear friends that are on the same ride. Because we need to see, wow, I just see where I have dipped down in terms of different attitudes and feelings. And sure enough, by going through these different stages, to see that wounded child that just wasn't given enough love, right? And so she did the best she could. She created all kinds of masks and covers to make herself feel better than she actually felt. And if it wasn't for some caring people, and even people that didn't care, but that could feed back to me different attitudes that I myself have blocked, and then to see it outpictured in someone else is a real choice. But it takes programs like this. Quite honestly, I think many of us are getting more aware, but without programs like this, it's easy not to see it and just be the effect.
Yeah, it's easy not to see it. And it's our ego self not wanting to see it. It's our soul self desperate to come forth, because our soul said, hey, we're going to go on planet Earth and we're going to bring this gift to the party. And we get down, and we also said to the conscious loving universe, I'm going to learn to love myself in this process so that I can bring my gift. And so as we incarnate into these families and into these experiences, we forget our gift that we promised to bring in the process of getting these wounds, having these experiences to take us on this hero and heroine's journey to self-love, self-acceptance.
I just wanted to add, Connie, because of these kinds of programs, many people have never grown up with a sense of soul self that knows who it really is, that, you know, that I know who I am. It takes this kind of expansion to say, oh my God, you mean there's really a deeper presence here than I've ever really known. And I didn't quite always get it through religion, not to judge that. But what I'm suggesting here, that we're finding a deeper channel in terms of actual palpable touching this beautiful soul self that we are.
Yeah, and my point being that our ego self wants to defend and prevent us from accessing that shadow, because our ego self has shown up and been such a great service to us to get us to where we are, that it's like, okay, I'm happy, I'm wonderful, and I don't want you showing me the parts of myself I don't love yet.
Yeah.
And so we have these behaviors that we use to defend ourselves, and they're not very pretty sometimes, because we don't want those people in our lives to come in and show us that we don't have value, because we think ultimately that we don't have value. It's not them saying we don't have value, it's them mirroring that. So it's an exciting ride. Oriana, do you have any thoughts?
Not at this point. I'm just really interested in what you all have to share, and I've been trying to tune into your program, and it hasn't worked out time-wise, so I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, well, we're really happy to have you.
It's good to see you, Ariana.
It's nice to see you all.
Do you have any thoughts on the journey, the process?
No, I could go on and on, you know me. Let's see. I would say the essence of this work, the Dance of Souls work, is obviously it's about relationships. We call it the relationship evolution or revolution, with the R in parentheses. It's the relationship. It's an evolution of the way we see and experience relationships, because relationships are actually here to help us to evolve. The essence of a conscious relationship, which is not always the case with relationships, is that we're looking into the mirror, in a sense, where these things that show up in our lives often are uncomfortable. Sometimes they're wonderful when, you know what it's like, we fall in love. Everything is unbelievably perfect. It's extraordinary. The universe has shifted into this wondrous place. And then all of a sudden you're looking into the face of your beloved, and she's really mad at you, or he's really mad at you. And it's saying this stuff that is coming from a place that's just hurtful, perhaps, or outrageous, and obviously wrong. And, oh, wait a minute. If I'm conscious being in a conscious relationship, I know that everything and everyone who shows up in my life is showing up for me, not against me, is part of the circumstances of my life. And is there anybody who has never felt that they're a victim of circumstance? So part of this work is about switching that whole idea of being a victim of circumstance, in fact, to being a beneficiary of circumstance. Everything in our lives happens for us and not to us. That's a radically different take on the experiences of being a human being. So there's a start.
Yeah, because this whole dance of souls in the trust frequency, dancing the dance of souls in the trust frequency, has to do with some assumptions about the nature of the universe, so that we can make this big flip from victim to beloved, from victim of circumstance to beneficiary of circumstance. And these assumptions that we bring through the trust frequency, we have 4 of them that we use for this Dance of Souls course. And that is, one is that it's a conscious, loving universe. There is absolutely only love, free will, and the soul's journey to wholeness. So we ask people to take those assumptions as absolutely true for this exercise, because without taking it as absolutely true, without moving beyond good and evil, right and wrong, duality, we are still stuck in a lower frequency for one thing, and we're stuck in the victim perpetrator paradigm. We're stuck in that story, and getting out of that story is where we get freedom, true freedom. So we ask people to take that as absolutely true. There's only love, there's only free will, and there's only the soul's journey to wholeness. And the way we resolve the paradox of love, not love, that we see out in the world and that we experience, that puts us in the victim paradigm, victim story, is that love that drives the universe is unconditional. Some people call it divine love. We call it unconditional love because it loves us so much. It gives us everything we ask for. And our definition of humanity is that we are a collection of divine, autonomous, sovereign beings who chose to incarnate on earth to learn and grow on our soul's journey to wholeness with a gift and a purpose. So that overarching act of free will that we gave when we incarnated told the loving universe, this love that drives and is all things, that it can take us on this journey. So that's the foundation for this Dance of Souls concept that we are taking you through. So do you have any thoughts on that, Andrew or Wowza or Oriana? You're muted, Wowza.
You're a mute plus.
What could be a more important subject? There has never been more divisiveness in our world than there is now. The ecology, I mean, so much of what's happening, we're in serious doo-doo. And the one thing that I see can begin to spread something larger is that we're brothers and sisters of each other. And this loving caringness is built into our very cellular structure. And I feel that the more that this can expand outward into people's hearts, because a lot of people really haven't touched this. There's been so much, heavy duty treatment and programming in the world. So, but to say that we're born with this, that we came on the planet with this is like a new story. That we have a history of love.
And something that I have said for many, many years, and I'm not sure Connie's ever heard me say this, but I asked this question or make this statement. There's 2 kinds of people in the world. Do you know what those 2 very distinct and different kinds of people are? I call them brothers and sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the brothers are different from the sisters.
Yeah.
We sound different, we look different, we have different bodies, and we adore each other. And yet there is a whole challenge just in that. But if we know that every male I meet is my brother, and every female I encounter is my sister, and I have that as a fundamental tenet of my existence, whoa, that makes a very big, imagine if all of humanity treat each other that way.
Incredible. And this incredible thing too, that as you know, we have strains of masculine. A woman has a masculine component.
Of course,
As you, Andrew, have a feminine component, which you so beautifully bring together, by the way.
Well, I say that
it starts there,
that Andrew and I'm balanced to my masculine and he's balanced to his feminine. So we come into a wholeness between us. But what the whole point of this dance of souls is, okay, how many of you have brothers and sisters that you see other aspects of yourself in than that you want to see? Okay, so this whole dance of souls thing it's about the fact that we are the consciousness of unconditional love coming to understand itself. So we are unified physics, unified science is showing us now that we are consciousness. We are the loving universe. We are it, and every experience we have shifts the collective of the entire cosmos, the entire universe. And it's my understanding that we have a job to do here as humanity to transmute the energies of fear, separation, and scarcity. So we've been doing a great job. Every experience we've had, and we're having right now in this divisive time, is serving from this perspective that there's only love. Even the things we see as not love, that they are serving. Every experience we have personally and collectively is serving this process of separation, transmuting separation, the illusion of separation. It's nobody's fault because the energies were denser and thicker. So we've all seen each other as separate. And this has been such a service that we've had so many religions, so many languages, so many races, so many colors, so that we could get this job done, and so that we could play this out. And the whole concept of scarcity. Okay, all our systems are based, our economic systems are based on a concept of scarcity. And our whole reality of competition, of hoarding, of greed, that all comes out of scarcity consciousness, which was because the earth was in this lower frequency, and this was the lower vibration energy that we've been responding to. And the whole thing of fear. So right now, this is the playing out of that, and each individual relationship is playing out those aspects of ourselves amongst brothers and sisters. Okay, from my point of view. So this course is about getting to the nitty-gritty, down into the subconscious, so that we can access those parts of ourselves we don't love yet. So our brother and our sister and our lover are going to show us those. That's their job. And it's the job of the universe to do that. So the person in the grocery store line that cuts us off and ignores us, okay, they're part of the loving universe that says, okay, Connie needs to access her worthlessness. So lady, go in and just shove your way in front of her and don't pay any attention to her. Okay, because Connie feels worthless. Okay, see how the big flip from victim to beneficiary, from victim to beloved. We are beloved, and we told the universe, we said, yes, universe, loving universe, do this. Show me my light. So I have some inkling that I have value. And show me these parts of myself I don't love yet. So it's a process. It's a deep process because our defense mechanisms that we have in place that we don't want to let anybody know are there. That's the crux of the matter. Those survival mechanisms we put in place so that the world doesn't know what we feel inside. And what we have to understand is no shame, no blame. It's the job we came on the planet to do, is to bring our true essence, our total selves, our divinity, our amazing beingness to the party. The whole universe is awaiting the gift we promised to bring to the party. So any thoughts on that, you guys? Gals? You have any thoughts, Oriana?
Wowza, you are.
I do the good bit. Wowza's going, go Wowza. Go ahead.
It's again the embodiment. I just love the word embodiment now. It wasn't until, and I'll do more of this later, but when I could embody that little wounded child consciously, I could just actually see and feel her the way, you know, she turned her heart inside out and brought her little chin down to hide and disguise her pain.
And look at her now.
Look at her now.
Look at her now. And she's been on a heck of a ride through this life journey. Just
And what I
wowza,
found
listen.
out is if I could love her, you know, in whatever it was, she didn't rule my life anymore. You know, there was more choice. So that's why I am so stoked when it comes to how can we embody this now, walk the talk. And
Yeah,
so
well, you're a living example, my dear, of this
we all
process.
are, because we're all one, so we all have this attribute. We all have this ability. We were born with it. Yeah, so we're all getting used to practicing these skills again. Yeah.
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 Mariana, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Yes. Now, I think what comes to me as something that actually just knocking everything over. Wait, whoa. And this comes from Barbara Marx Hubbard, of which we're all lovers of Barbara here, and the Homo universalis, the idea that we're really evolving to being that universal being. And yesterday I did the time crystal vessel, and it was the first time that I went into this deep inward, inside the still point, and stepped through it to where I could feel being the universe.
Whoa.
But it was the most amazing sensation because I was feeling the sensations of, whoa, what would the universe feel? Whoa, what are the sensations of existence, life force flowing through a universe, and here this little speck of stardust that we're occupying as thinking it's the entire, you know, there's so much of our thinking process, I think, that's so involved in us earthlings being the center of the universe, even though, you know, Copernicus kind of came along and put the kibosh to that idea. And yet we kind of think we're the only game in town. And to really feel the sense of what is it that what you're speaking to, that I feel is that calling us forth to be that universal being, to really be beyond the, oh, we're earthlings. I often think when Wowza was talking about the divisiveness that's really occurring now, is that you know, to extraterrestrials, we all look alike. They probably can't tell us apart, right?
Right. But there is with the holographic nature of things, which you could speak to, you know, the fractal holographic nature of things. We are the center of the universe. Each one of us, you know, everything is in the smallest plank. What? You're the scientist.
That's all right. You're getting good. Go
I know
ahead.
exactly
No, but-
what you're speaking to in the subplunkian scale before it
Yeah.
even becomes visible. It's all existent in the moment that it arises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are so important. In my world, we are so important. What we think and how we live is critical to the collective because we are one. So every thought we have, where we put our attention, we've got the 7 A's of consciousness that determine our frequency and thereby our reality, and that affects all of creation. And I might even just say those 7 words in a sentence. We have them in a sentence because this is a little toolkit that we can use hour by hour or during our day to check what we're contributing to the collective. And here's the sentence: with expanded awareness, there are 7 words that begin with A. With expanded awareness and accurate assumptions, we choose our attitude, consciously direct our attention, align with our highest inner promptings, take committed action, and allow the loving universe to manifest beyond our wildest dreams. Because once we understand that, we put ourselves in a frequency that's beyond our wildest dreams, where the laws are expanded. It's another way of being, whole nother connection. And here we have Maria Paz, who's joined us.
Hola.
And, hola, ¿cómo estás? And she is a Mayan, I believe. Hi, Maria. ¿Cómo estás? Estamos felices de tener usted aquí con nosotros. And Maria knows an expanded reality. Her people, her way of life, she was kept in touch through her ancestral connections and family knowing. And I'm saying this in general of indigenous people, especially from South America and Mexico, etc., the traditional people, because we got shut down to our essence. We, as Wallace Black Elk once told me, we were born knowing everything, and we narrowed it down to what we could see and hear. Okay, the whole scientific paradigm that we got raised in just shut us off, many of us, off from our essence and from this expanded reality and this knowing that we are multidimensional beings. And Oriana, I know that you are a multidimensional being and have access to many dimensions, and all of us do in one way or another. So that's what this course, this dance of souls and trust frequency is all about, is bringing us into alignment with that essence of who we are, and moving us into self-love and self-acceptance so that we can bring it forth. So Maria, would you like to say anything? Since I've been talking about you. You're muted, Maria.
Is he muted?
Yeah. There you are.
It's
Hola.
everybody. Honored to be here, to have lucky. I felt it. and I just came in to check what was going on, and I found you. I'm so happy.
Yes,
Welcome, welcome.
I'm so happy.
I think that about the people, original people, we are all natives because we all came from the nature.
Right.
And we have so many ancestors, so many layers of different ancestors that we really don't know at the end where we come from. In the Mayan concept of cosmovision, they say we are inherited from the 13 extraterrestrial that seeded the land, that came into Orient first, and the one they were in Egypt. And when they came to in Egypt, they found the stories say they found people were not civilized, cleaning or things like that, so they teach them and they made the pyramids. But when they came to this land here, they found a flourishing civilization at that time. So we really don't know, but the cosmovision of the Colombians also say we were created in a glass table, an incredible table, and our eyes were taken from Venus and our heart from a different planet. And here, the ancestors are called our creators and those who form us. And about the other subject that you was talking about, being multidimensional being, I think it's starting to happen right now. Like we are starting like going, we are here, but sometimes with the time goes by, or
Yeah, it's exciting.
layers, you know.
This
And if
time
you,
of shift.
if you get in the right frequency or layer, like synchronism, and everything start happening perfect.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. That's what we're talking about with our work with the trust frequency, getting into that frequency where the magic happens, where there's more abundance than we can fathom, where there's a whole different, there's a party going on. We're all invited. We just don't know how to get there because we're in a different frequency. So that's the work that this is all about.
Confianza.
Confianza.
Gracias.
So, yeah. And so, yeah, well, we're just so happy to have you here, Maria. And so we'll just keep going with this process that we're talking about, this dance of souls, and making this big flip from victim to beloved. But there's another big flip, and that's the flip from blaming others to acknowledging our journey. And that's a huge one, because if we can blame others, we don't have to do the work. We can just put it on them and say they're bad and wrong, and that we don't have to do the work. So that's part of this process, is rather than blaming someone for making us feel a certain way, they can't make us feel a certain way. We feel something from something they've done or said that actually our soul has magnetized. Our soul has asked these people to do this, to say these things. So this is a whole different concept. And so that's what we're bringing forth, is understanding the power of our soul, the power of this journey, the power of this request we made to the conscious loving universe to show us those parts of ourselves that we love, but also the parts we don't yet love. So what we say is, circumstance loves us more than we do, because we think we want to do certain things a certain way. We think that maybe that person who jumped in the head of us in the grocery line is bad and wrong, but that person, these circumstances have come to take us on this journey and to get us to bring our gift. We think we want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something successful that our daddy wants us to be, so he can be proud of us, or what our mother was, or whatever. And circumstance comes and says, oh, guess not. You're not doing that. You're not going there because you didn't get into that school, or you this or that happened. Circumstances taking us on this journey to get us to bring our true gift to the party of life. So let's see, how are we doing for time? We've let's
We've got just maybe 20 minutes left.
yeah, so we're gonna take a minute and we're going to do a vows of love. We have these vows of love that we have, that actually people who are actually in relationship with each other, like a marriage in particular, but it doesn't matter, because once we understand these vows of love, we make them with ourselves, we make them with our partner, we make them silently with our siblings, with the universe. And so we want to take you through these vows of love, and you can repeat them after me. Should we just do it all together? Okay, so here are the vows of love.
And this is actually a practice that we do in some of our workshops, where we get up out of our seats and move and find partners and move through the group, repeating to each other. Sometimes we'll read it and people will simply sort of mouth it because it's not easy to remember the words. But this is reminding me of a video that we did here at Sunrise Ranch. And it was just beautiful just to observe people, total, strangers, two strangers meeting and in the context of the vows of love, the vow of love. Wow.
And then we had people just rotating through and meeting each other's eyes, various people just speaking. So what you guys can do, and we can all do together, is look in each other's eyes, and you can rotate different people's eyes you're going to look into, and just say these after me. Okay? And you can say them to yourself, so you don't have to say them out loud, because I don't think that'll work.
Would you like me to say them along with you?
Sure.
Okay.
So Andrew and I'll say them together. I will faithfully reflect the light and beauty that is in your heart. Okay, now let them say that. So you can say, then you can say it.
But that takes some remembering.
Okay.
I will faithfully reflect the light and beauty that is in your heart.
I will also mirror for you all of your wounds and insecurities. I will help you make friends with your shadow, those parts of yourself that you do not yet love.
I will also help you make friends with your shadow, those parts of you that you do not yet.
Sweet. Yeah, it's nice to hear you say the words.
Wowza, are you muted?
No, but Oriana, I think it's good to say them.
Yeah.
Unmute and say them.
Let's
Let's try that.
I'll just, move my body as an embodiment.
Yeah.
You can dance.
So anybody say it,
You can embody it.
but it's fun to hear. Okay. I will as well thank you and honor you for mirroring for me the parts of myself that I cannot see.
Dear.
I will as well thank
I will as well
thank
I
you
will
and
as
honor
well thank you
you
And honor you
and honor
Honor
you
you.
for me
for me,
the parts of myself that I cannot see.
the parts
of
of
myself
myself
that I cannot see.
Each time
I try to blame you and judge you.
each
Each
time
I try to
I
blame you
blame
and judge you.
and judge you.
I will remind myself to look inside
I will
I will
remind myself
to
to look inside
inside
and articulate
I
and
will-
bring into the light
and articulate and bring into the light
into the light.
my shadow side that you have shown me.
My
my
shadow
shadow
side
side that you have
you
shown.
have shown me.
I realize that by entering into a relationship with you,
I
I realize by entering into a
entering
relationship with you,
I have agreed to walk with you
I
I have agreed to walk with you
With you
into deep unconscious levels
into
to
to
deep
deep
unconscious
level
level
on the journey toward wholeness.
on the
on the
journey
journey towards wholeness.
If at any time
If at any time
Any time
we decide to end this relationship,
we decide to end this relationship,
I recognize
I recognize
that it will be because
that it will
that
be
it will be because
we have served each other's growth as best we can.
We have
served each other's growth as best we can.
I look forward to the day
I
I look forward to the day
when the fruit of our time together
when the
fruit of our time
together
together
will have ripened
will have
will have ripened
through the many seasons of our relationship.
through the
the
many
many
seasons
seasons of our relationship.
So that is the vows of love.
That's a beautiful wedding vow.
Yeah, I feel that if people, young people who are getting married, if they had those vows and understood the nature, the true nature of relationship, that marriages would flourish on a much deeper level and last a lot longer than they do. And I downloaded that in a traffic jam in Aspen, Colorado in 1992. In the middle of a very trying marriage, not to Andrew, with whom I was definitely in a dance of souls. I married my father's shadow so that I could come to see it and heal and go forward. So anyway, so Wowza, do you want to take us on a quick journey? Because we're going to have those men showing up pretty soon. It's we've got like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And
So thank you for doing the vows of love.
that was lovely. Thank you, really.
Did that work for you?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Good, because we didn't know how to bring that forth. So Wowza, you want to take us on a little embodiment journey?
Little bounce through the universe.
Right.
Boink, boink, boink.
See, that is the power of the ball, by the way. It is a universe. Why not make it what you want to make it, right? And it is filled with love and juicy, juicy love. And so the idea that the more I participate and feel this incredible love just come bouncing up through
You're on your ball, I can tell, my dear.
my ball and out to the top of my head, flooding the universe with love. To be a lover of love, of the universe. I mean, what fun is that? And that really is what I'm bringing to to life, I feel, is this grand play that we're on. That we are the authors, we are the producer, we are the actor. And that all parts, just like all parts of the dream, is an aspect of ourself. And so the reason I get into this fluidity, because it's such, I love playing juicy parts, you know, I mean, to play that little victim child once in a while, to put on the beautiful music and that unrequited love and that little quiver in my voice, and, you know, and read David White's poetry, you know, and just let the tears wash over my face. It takes maybe 5 minutes, and of just, you know, of holding that part that just did the best it could. That's to me where self-love starts, is to taking that little child in my arms and say, oh my gosh, I love you just as you are. You are beautiful to me. I will never, ever abandon you. And if it's too scary out there, I've got a beautiful little chamber right in this heart, and you're safe and sound. And then when that Billy the bully comes, you know, we used to ridicule me in my skin. Oh, there is ugly duckling. There's the, ooh, she alligator skins. Don't get near her, you'll catch it. And I love playing, you know, him too. My God. And I'm Billy the bully. I can't even say it. I got to practice. I am I am Billy the bully. In 2 seconds. You know, and I've done this where I've played these out and then I've gone to town or something and met somebody that just kind of moved me the wrong way, or the ex-husband, right? And there was just a moment where, you know, there was that vibration. Instead of reacting, I laughed because I had just played him. I was him. I wasn't separate from him anymore. And bullies do not, I can see them a mile away. And I have a choice either to go a different way or say, oh, somebody to play with. I wonder how he's doing it. I might learn some greater acting devices, right? So I study him to develop my own bully role.
Whoa.
Right?
So that
and the
takes
more I do, man, the freer I become from any form of judgment. Well, I'm the big judge. Sit down, behave. I'm taking over this show, you know. And I mean, bam, oh, and the energy behind these roles, that's another goodie. And here I am, you know, a little, that's more my style, you know, nice and sweet. You know, I'm a pretty nice person, but with nice. And I can just play for, I swear it is because I'm 30 seconds. Shut up and listen to me. I got something to say. You know, that much. Boom, can you see it? My energy's up and out. And now I can shape it. I can shape it softly. I can shape it loudly. The choice is ours. So
when we get objective, it's kind of getting an objective observer.
And the other is right now, I'm looking at your eyes, Connie, you know. And as I open your eyes, lots of times I've got half lids where I'm thinking what I'm going to say. I can drop my eyes way back in my head, like I'm not even here. I can smile and pretend I am. See, the more we become aware, wow, what would it be like to bring all the love I have right here and now, and to just absolutely feel it extend. And now see, it's way too big because now it's flooding the whole space you're surrounded in. And even though I'm not exactly looking at Andrew's eyes, I feel his eyes. In other words, the great love is a ripple effect. And it opens through that peripheral vision to be such a beautiful metaphor of love of wholeness is when we open those eyes. And yet I haven't lost the focus in your eyes, Connie, the both and. And then we have a choice too. Oh my gosh, what would it be like if we could actually feel a lovely pull? Yes, oh my gosh. See, to see that model a little bit, you know, we exhale, we come back a little bit. We don't keep it up there all the time, but it matches the breath. We could play with that. On the inhale, come on, Andrew. The heart, I swear, it's unbelievable. That's a bit of a, you know, where we level head, see, it's like, whoa, how do we embody that purity of expression of love? Oh, it helps when we're level-headed. Because when I see an angle sometimes, what's your angle?
Oh, level-headed.
Right? Or we go, you know, they're judging me, or they're this me, or they are that me. And it's a big deal to kind of open our eyes just a little wider, you know, to kind of let that energy consciously move through us to myself in you. So that for me is the big piece for me personally. When I really got, there is no one, I am not. Then, like Billy the Bully, I mean, or there is this beautiful being, you know, brilliance, you know, it's just like, I'd be playing stupid not to want to come deeply into your field, to feel, oh, I feel something smarter happening in my brain. You know? I can feel into your intelligence. And if physics is right, if I can truly feel, I really admire your ability to conduct. I mean, you are a brilliant human being, no question. My goodness, Connie's brain is an aspect of mine that is more in the dark.
I don't think so.
Look
Look at the light.
Or it's a little.
Look at you. Look at the light. That's
Well, I was talking about just plain old smarts, you know, 2 and 2 is 4. But I mean, I could come into your intelligence and walk away with a bigger one, a more aware one. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So it would behoove us, it doesn't matter who. They're a great teacher of acting, of their role. And the more we can just subtly take on that little tilt, take on a little bit of the qualities, I walk away bigger in life.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, just from even from Zoom, like Ariana and I haven't met, but I've seen her she's shown us a bit of her essence beyond sitting here. I couldn't really get to know her sitting here, but I've seen her do some of her work and not enough, but I get bigger from knowing that she knows bigger things than what I know. And the same with Maria.
Yeah.
Wow, Maria.
Whoa, we can all.
Just your essence of the contact I've had, and I've seen a film you've made, and just who you are expands me. And it's just Zoom. We haven't even met in person. So really, Wowza, I see what you're saying, and it's really beautiful. And the light that you're shining on all of us, in your essence and your beauty, is phenomenal. So thank you. And we're going to have to jump off because the boys are coming.
David is here. But
the men are coming on.
So I just want to thank everybody for joining us in this little adventure that we could take every Monday. And we never quite know where it's going to go and what form it's going to take. So it's very much channeling the spirit of the moment. And
And this
thank
was a
you.
treat
Thank
having
you
you
so
guys
much.
here because we've mostly usually just talking to ourselves.
We're all alone.
We're usually all alone talking to Facebook Live. People are on Facebook,
There's a
but
lot
we
of-
can't see them. And so to have you, both of you ladies here to interact with and
Ah.
bring your gifts to the conversation
Very special.
is really, really wonderful.
And
Yeah, we're going to have an extended conversation about the holographic universe and
ooh, there's that.
how all of,
Yeah,
all of that unfolds too.
Connie put me on the spot, but then she didn't follow up. You moved right into the next one.
Well-
before I talked
Well,
about the
sorry.
That's life.
omnicentric universe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get you to do, but I thought you threw it back to me. So anyway, meanwhile, we're all the center of the universe, and we have such a responsibility to that universe with what we think and where we put our attention and all that. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. And
Beautiful,
Maria, what a
everybody.
treat. And Ariana and Wowza. So
Yeah. Thank you.
we enjoyed dancing our dance of souls with you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad I finally got a chance to get on with you. So,
Yeah, and I know you
wonderful.
have so much to bring to the conversation. So
Yeah.
I'll get us off of